Let's go. Will you ever tell Brennan to get an actual studio, especially since he just signed a new Podcast One deal and it was the biggest of his career? We have a studio. We have two floors of this studio. So I don't know what more you guys want. It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Saw you in San Antonio last weekend. Did you not sell merch? I did not sell any merch. And I didn't even have time because I booked that show 3 weeks out, which was really dumb because I've been doing that place forever and I always sell it out, but people just know I was there.
Right. Also, can you read the names? And
it was from Joey Moreno, Chris Mosier. As a man with long balls too, I just recently started using sheath underwear. I've used them. Game changer. What's your technique on keeping your long balls in place? True classic underwear, sheath underwear. I actually have a number of pairs of those. Start over today with no audience, no connections. What would be your first 3 moves? I'm always starting over. Like I'm doing a series. I'm working on a series right now. I'm writing it, and I have to produce it and all that. I have to conceive of it, and I think the only way I know how to accomplish, and I haven't accomplished a lot, but what I've accomplished is I kind of just keep an image of what I want in my mind, and I just move in that direction. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the only way I know how to accomplish things, and I usually fail. There's a great saying that winners are just losers who tried one more time, and I really think that's true. I'm so used to failure and missing the mark. I just keep showing up. You just keep showing up until it's your turn. Some people are way better. Some people just, I don't know, they can put systems in place and they're insanely disciplined and they focus and, like my friend is a billionaire, is just insanely focused. I'm not that guy. I try hard, but I'm also got ADHD and maybe my brain isn't as strong. Jet, could you take Nick in a fight or a jiu-jitsu match? Nick is a young, strong kid. He has no wind. So I don't know. I wouldn't want it because he's a good wrestler and he's strong. But I think he would gas. If it was boxing, yes. Nick doesn't know how to strike at all. But wrestling, no. He's tough. Jiu-jitsu, maybe I could turtle up for a long time as an old man until he got really tired. But he's strong. He's hard to deal with. What would beat Nick is his own wind. Justin Barrage, do you think you and Brennan will ever go to each other's houses? Good question. Good question. But we see each other, Sean Trenery, last performance in a series or movie that left you dumbstruck? Good question. Anything by Christian Bale or Daniel Day-Lewis. So incredible. And Tom Hardy in Peaky Blinders. Second question, did you ever regret picking a career in entertainment? All the time. Because it's hard and because there's no guarantees. It's always up to me. From the outside looking in, it seems like it would be a great when it's going well, but the stress of having to continue to constantly land jobs sounds horrible. Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's not easy. He used to make a lot of money and then a lot of stuff happens, as you guys know, and then it's hard. Would you rather have chosen a more stable career like being a teacher, lawyer, electrician? Something that's far more stable, but you're less known, more of a simple life. Here's what I have to say about that. I don't think there is any such thing as stable. Stability doesn't exist. There's always uncertainty. There's always a measure of pain. And if you want to navigate the uncertainty and a measure of pain, you better be willing to work hard all the time. Constant work. Sorry, that's the way it is. What is it that Jordan Peterson would say? Don't look to be safe, look to be strong. Make yourself strong because they're coming. Chaos is coming. And I think that's God's way of purifying your soul. Matt L. Yo, B. What if you were taking a walk out in nature and all of a sudden a dude got the drop on you and started banging you out from behind? Think about this a lot. Banging me out from behind? All right. Would you be more mad that a dude was banging you out or that a dude got the drop on you? Fuck, that's a good question. First of all, he'd have to hit me in the back, right? Knock me out because I'm fighting. So I come to and he's banging me out. That's a problem. I think at that point I'd be very confused. Broseph Smith, hey Bryan, if you could do 3 do-overs in your life, would they be? That's really a great question. Here's the thing, Broseph, and I know you're asking this for yourself. Be really ruthless about the people you bring into your life. And that's a skill. Don't suffer from wishful thinking. God doesn't think of you as special. You are not one of God's favorites. You don't escape the trials and tribulations and the slings and arrows life will throw at you. But always tell the truth, and especially to yourself. And don't spend time on people that are not worth it. If people are behaving a certain way now, their chances are they're going to behave that way 20 years from now. It's just the truth. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have believed in people the way I did. I believed in the Rocky story. All you got to do is train and you'll be a champion someday. And I put a lot of time and effort into other people, thinking they had the same values and dreams I did. Whether it was people I dated, whether it was people I brought on as friends, I wasted a lot of time on the wrong people. And that's because I'm an optimist. And I think there was a lot of ego in it as I look back. I think I just thought I was touched by God. You know, there was an arrogance to who I was when I was growing up. There was just an arrogance. I was very lucky as a kid. I had chaos and like that, but I just think I convinced myself to deal with a lot of the crazy chaos. I had great parents, but there was chaos in my life in terms of moving all the time. It was very traumatic in a way. It was very anxiety inducing. And I think my way of coping with anxiety was I created in my own mind a mythology around myself, which was that I was not somebody in need of self-reflection. I was not somebody who had to protect himself from bad people, all that stuff. It was an arrogance. So I would say take time to understand that you are no different than anyone else, and behave that way. Work like you're broke. Yeah.
Bryan Callen did a Patreon Q&A. It was only 27 minutes long. Oh, he zipped through it, and you can tell he was none too happy to have to be doing it. But the first question, he was so lying. He was like, what's wrong? We got a studio. Callen and Chin have bitched about that studio ever since Schaub got it. And they were bitching about the one that was in the same storage unit, the one before that. That was technically better. Callen regularly complains, oh, do we got to stop because the fans have kicked on and no one can hear us? But sure, whatever. But this other question, do you think you and Brendan will ever go to each other's houses? And Callen basically just went, we see each other, admitting that they're not friends anymore. And of course they're not friends anymore. Ugh. Friggin', I bet you both of them blame each other for the status of their careers. Even though Callen blames a lot of it on him getting canceled, he's not stupid. He knows he left the Fighter and the Kid podcast, and Schaub brought on Chappelle Lacey and Malik B. And he was doing that conspiracy podcast with Tripoli that actually was successful, and Schaub had to up his pay to bring him back. But Callen knows that 1,000%, like his ticket sales and everything like that, is being affected because of his association with Schaub, who destroyed his own career. And Callen has to deal with the idiocy of this man. Remember, Callen flipped out on the phone on Bobby Lee because of the info Schaub gave him. So Callen's not stupid. They hate each other with a red hot passion. We've seen this before, people, with the Opie and Anthony show. And afterwards, they admitted Yeah, we didn't talk. We didn't hang out anymore. They hate each other so much. All the other questions in this, though, I mean, Callen, of course, had to bring up the billionaire friends and the acting in Hollywood and all of that stuff. But I mean, Schaub probably forced him to do this Patreon Q&A, and this was his shortest one yet. I think this is only the third time Callen's ever did it. The first time was a half hour. The second time he actually made it to an hour, but this time it was just 27 minutes. You can tell he was just trying to rush through it. But yeah, the first question he answered, though, was a complete lie. He hates that studio. But it's interesting knowing that they're not friends anymore. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.